Hi, this is Eric Martin with BoardGameGeek. I am here with Cedric from Don't Panic
Hello.
Games. Thank you very much for joining us, Cedric.
You're welcome. I'm very happy to be here.
So today we are looking at Naruto Ninja Arena by the design team of Antoine Bauza, Ludovic Maublanc, Courtin Lebrat, and Theo Riviere, who have often worked together.
The world-famous design team.
Yes, they work together a lot on different things. It's fabulous to see. And I'm very curious to learn more about this just because my son is a huge Naruto fan. So I am curious to see what you're bringing to the table here. So maybe you can give an overview of the world we're in and what we are trying to do.
If you play with your son, he is going to drive you crazy, I think. So Naruto is, okay, it's probably hard to explain on video from the other end of the world because it's a very fast-paced game. It's one of those games that plays simultaneously. So you can see the layout for the game. Basically, each player is going to choose one of the ninjas or the different fighters, take the board, which is made of 2 pieces, each board tells you what the character is able to do. So in the case of Naruto, as you can see up there, you have his hit points. They're by levels 3, 6, 6, 9, and you have a marker which you can move during the game to show how much he was wounded. And you basically have his 2 attacks, which you obtain by rolling. You have 2 kind of special dice with the game. Each player has 5 dice, like this. Yeah, perfect. And you are going to roll them. And whenever you achieve one of the combos that is written on the left, you are able to do the attacks that are on the right. So in the case of Naruto, it's fairly easy. The first allows you to do 3 damage to a player near you. And the second is a little more complex, so I'll explain it later. You can, the thing is, when you are going, the damage are the small tokens, the small red jewels you have with the game. You all place them around the center of the table. What happens is, when you are going to roll the damage, you are going to take the tokens, the damage, and give them to another player. So in the case of Naruto, if you roll the 2 dice combination, you take the 2 die combination, you take 2 damage in the center of the table, and you give it to one of your neighbors. So for example, you take 2 and you place them on your right. That sounds really simple. The hitch here is that everyone is rolling the die at the same time and rolling them and re-rolling them as often as they want. So it means that everyone is screaming, rolling the die, trying to do the combo, moving the damage around, which is why it's going to be difficult to explain. So you're allowed to roll the die, but you don't need to re-roll all 5. You can keep those you want and re-roll the other ones. Perfect. Whenever then there is the third attack, which is the one on the lower part, on the separate, which is the special combo. It's always the same combo. You have to have 5 different faces to do it. And once one player rolls this combo, you have to take your hand and put it on the Uzumaki symbol, which is in the center of the table, which is you put your hand there. As soon as the player does that, every other player has to do the same until the last player does it, and the last player takes 2 damage because he was last. Basically, once this is done, everyone stops and 3 things happen. The first thing is one player takes 2 damage. The second thing is everyone accounts for their damage levels. So say if you had Naruto and you had 5 damage, you would move from the 3 damage level from the 3 to 6, the second 6, and you get rid of the extra damage. So it means that the highest your damage levels are, and the harder it is for you to lose a life level. For example, if I have a character with 11, it means in order to lose that level of life, I need to get 11 points damage in the same turn. Then the third thing that happens is that you take the tile, which is the lower tile, which is on the Naruto, you turn it around, and it will give you a special power. Okay, in the case of Naruto, whenever he has his special form, all his damage, all the damage do 1 extra damage for the next turn.
Okay.
And then you start fighting each other again.
Okay. So to be clear with the damage, so if Sasuke already had 6 damage, you would place the marker in the left-hand slot, right?
You will move
and
it
then,
by 1 slot, yes. Exactly.
Okay.
And if there were like 12 damage with 2 6 slots, you will move it by 2 slots. If you are on the last slot and you get killed, what happens is you turn around your main board, and you have like a special, let's say, KO power, because of course you're a hero and you're on the floor, but you still have the energy to try to assemble your willpower and get back up and fight. And in that case, you can keep on rolling, but you cannot do any damage to the players. What you're aiming at is doing the special combo. If you manage to roll the special combo, you can then put your hand on the Uzumaki symbol, and you will come back next round for 1 extra round.
Okay.
Exactly. So with 1 player, it looks a little strange, but now please imagine you have 4 players behind the 4 ninja tiles, and it kind of looks like that. And for a very short time, until everyone is hitting the center, then everyone is yelling at each other some insults like, why did you hit me? What happened? We said we were allied, whatever. And accounting for the damage. Then everyone is looking at the player that actually won the round because he's going to get the special power. So everyone is worried about what that power is. And you go again.
Okay. So you mentioned as well the second attack for Naruto was a little more complicated. I don't know if you could describe that.
As you can see, it's a little more complicated. Naruto is not the most complicated player, but the attacks names are not written on the tiles because we wanted it international. But you have all the attack names, which are the original names for the story in the rulebook. Your son will probably know them before looking at the rulebook. And the second attack is basically 2 damage to a player or 5 damage to a player that has not been damaged yet. So because Naruto is very strong on the initiative phase, so he has a bonus if he hits a player that has not been hit by other players, which makes it tough to keep alliance going, because you have the temptation. If you're trying to protect someone, you're basically tempted to hit him with the special attack.
Of course. What is the game winning condition, by the way? How do you actually win?
The last ninja standing. What else?
That's it. Of course.
The last ninja standing is the winning condition. Yeah, exactly. Understandably, whoever is winning tends to become a target for everyone. So the game is quite balanced. And in order to not have one player, get out of the game a long time before the others, that's where we came up with the special KO rule, which allows you to come back in the game and do something, even if you were eliminated by the other players. Now, part of the diversity of the game is the special powers of the various characters. You have 4 there, but there will be 9 in the box. And you have a lot of things going on with some characters that become berserkers if they die and have a huge amount of life. Some that you have a special fan. I love this one. So if you have that character and you activate it, the damage people do go on the fan, and then you wave it and you send it back to the people again, etc. I mean, the Kaidama team spent a lot of time brainstorming for really original attacks that fit very well with the characters, because basically everyone in this design team, starting by me, is a fan of Naruto and anime. So we weren't like looking at let's put some rules on something. We tried to do something really meaningful that fit with the characters and with a lot of diversity.
Okay. I don't know if we can look at some of the other characters as well, just to see their powers here.
You have them all. So
possibly.
Yeah. I can show you Gara.
Okay.
Gara is the one that goes berserk. So when he dies, I don't know if you can see, but he has 15 hit points.
We can probably, yeah, means probably switch over to the different.
What happens is in Europe, in Europe, we have like two boxes, one with the game and one with the expansion. The American version, yes, if you turn Gara around, we can see he has 15 life level, exactly. So that means he needs 15 points in a single round before you can defeat him finally. And that's like the Berserker mode. So yeah, okay. I was saying we have two boxes, one with the normal game, 4 players, and one expansion with other characters to go to 6 in Europe. But the American version, which is here behind me, is a larger box, and it will be the expansion will be included with it, so you can play straight to 6-player. Preferably if there's no one that doesn't like noise next to you, because if that happens, he will hate you for it.
Okay. Right. So is the game out now in Europe?
No, it's not. It's coming out by the end of November in Europe, just in time for Christmas, I'd say, and probably beginning of next year in the US. That's when I'm saying European version, that's English and French. And right. Probably next year there will be different versions with other rule books. But as I stated, the language is limited to a small booklet. Quite understandable. Right. There's nothing on the gaming material, so it's really easy to play, even if it's not, the rule book has not been translated in your language.
Okay. Yes, I saw the announcement recently by Japanime Games bringing it to the US, I believe.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, it's typically the kind of games they like. So.
Yes, it very much falls in their line. So how did the game design come to be in the first place? How did you get the license? Is that something you've been looking for?
So my personal background, and I'm one of the founders of Don't Panic Game, is from the anime world. I have spent more than 20 years bringing anime into France and Europe. I did a lot of things, and when I created Don't Panic Games, one of the let's say pillars of the company was trying to make good games out of licenses, because we're not like we buy a license and we put any game. We're game designers and game lovers and designers, etc. So we love to have a good game, and taking licenses from the anime world. Dealing with Japan is challenging. It takes lots of time to learn how to do it, and lots of resources. So I kind of put my experience in the fray to do that. My contacts with Japanese companies. It's often harder to work with them than Americans, because they don't handle things the same way. And that's why we have a specialty. One of our specialties as Don't Panic Games is doing anime licensed games. The latest one we released was Cowboy Bebop, which is also released in the States by Japanime Games. And
you have Attack on Titan as well.
And Attack on Titan, true, which we license which we released with Cryptozoic. But Cowboy Bebop was really great for us, because many gamers I've known for years in France that have never watched one anime in their entire lives wrote to me saying, okay, we don't like anime, but we really love that game, and so we started watching Cowboy Bebop. So I'm not necessarily waiting for the same thing from Naruto, but I certainly hope that parents that watch Naruto when they were young and have young kids, or that have kids and like playing with them, will immensely enjoy playing that game. and getting beaten by their children. But as I say, it's not just for children. What I used to say is it's the perfect game to play between two terraforming Mars, because it will wash your brain before you go again.
Okay. All right. So anything else to tell about this game? Or I don't know if you have other releases that you wanted to mention? It sounds like this is fairly straightforward. You're looking at the character powers, which are going to be different for every character. You figure out what those are and roll quickly for the right things for the most part.
Yeah, it's also about finding the right game for the right target.
Right.
People think that an anime like Naruto is for kids. Well, many people think that, but that's not true, because many people my age or even a little younger watch Naruto and are older and play more games now,
Yes.
and like to watch the same animation they watch with their children. So we can't just do something simple. We have to do something rich. Which is why we have in a game like this, which is very fast-paced, we have to find interesting twists to the character powers, which keeps the overall game simple, but gives a great diversity in playing.
Okay. Yeah, I have read about a fifth of the series, but I haven't watched the anime. I don't know.
Well,
I would like the books.
you know, there's people that like the manga and people that like the anime and people that just watch both. But
Yes.
you know, the important part is the story and how it's told. So I don't think if you haven't watched the anime, it prevents you from liking the game.
No, it doesn't. Anything else that you wanted to talk about? Any other releases? We've covered this already.
Well, this Christmas we're releasing Don't Wake Up Zulu. Yeah. So
Yes.
This is not to wake you up, you know. So we put it in here because it prevents you from doing any noise when walking. We were working on Above, and I would say that the most interesting thing in the US, at least, or in the rest of the world, is Cowboy Bebop, which unfortunately we released just before the COVID problem, so many people were not able to see it properly. So I would recommend anyone that hasn't checked the game out to take a look, even if you don't know anime, and even if you think licensed games are crap, maybe it will make you change your mind about everything. That our big anime games for this year, and I certainly hope that next Essen, first of all, we will all be in Germany, and that I would have new games to present, anime or non-anime games.
Okay. So has anything else changed in your business, or is it more just like you're trying to find new ways to demonstrate games? I mean, it seems like a very rough situation for, of course, things where you need lots of people around a table.
What we see is that actually there's still people around tables because they play them in families or in small circles, but it becomes very hard to demo the games. So overall, the game market seems to be faring well, but especially with the very known games. And when you have a game like Naruto, which, I mean, you can never demonstrate that efficiently on Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator because it's too physical. The question is, how do you get people to lay their hands on it? So I'm taking Naruto as an example, but the situation is the same for everyone.
Right.
The strange thing is people have more time to play very often because they can't go out so much, but they don't have an easy way to discover new games, except if they're watching and reading BoardGameGeek. So thank you very much for the work you're doing. And basically, we're trying to invent new ways to promote them.